Hello, 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 my little ponies, and welcome back to another episode of Rune Factory 5. At the end of the last episode, I had made a mention that I'm on a new medication. Well, I was trying to wrap everything up, and it's always like, oh, and another thing, and another thing, and another. It's like, I am trying to end the episode. I don't need 5 other things. I wanted one quick thing, not 10 minutes of more rambling after the episode is done. Regardless. Yeah, let's build up crafting a little bit and upgrade the armor. Okay, so when I went to my endocrinologist appointment last week, one of the new things that I got, or one of the things that came out of that was getting on a new prescription. So instead of being on the pills anymore, I'm now on estrogen patches. I put on the first patch on my upper arm, and I wanted it to be somewhere visible in case I do get a rash, because I've heard a lot about people getting rashes off of it. That's why I did want the patch originally. So I wanted to be able to keep an eye on it, and yeah, no rash. I'm not entirely certain how long I'm supposed to have it on, and it's almost fully come off. Yeah. Upgrade. Perfection. So, yeah. What, more about the pony convention? It was nice, it was fun, it was enjoyable. Apparently the best panels of the whole weekend were the panels that I didn't wind up going to. Yeah, like, was it on Sunday, I was seeing messages from people in the Discord being all like, oh yes, these 3 panels were awesome! I'm sure glad I came so I got to see these 3 panels, and like, I wasn't at any of those panels. One of them was the drag show, which I'm just not generally a fan of drag. Drag is an expression of fashion, and I am not interested in fashion. So I don't tend to watch drag shows because, yeah. As mentioned, not a fan of fashion, so why would I watch something about it? Yeah. Like, there was one panel where people were eating, like, spicy peppers and talking about ponies, like, so the idea was that people be, like, basically dying up on stage from the spicy peppers, like, oh, I think Fluttershy's the best, because she's had the most character growth, and all that stuff, and except just like the one main host was dying from the spice, and everyone else is all like, oh yeah, these are fine. Oh yeah, no, Twilight's good because I like purple. And it's like, buddy, you're not getting the idea of what we're supposed to be doing here. Like, no, this is not the idea! Yeah, my crafting level's still going up high. I hope that it's increasing my intelligence. I don't, like, technically speaking, in this playthrough, I did not need a good crafting skill. Because at least with smithing, that enhances the, like, at least smithing increases something, right? Like, I can make better, farming tools. There! Crafting, however, no actual reason for it. It's just here. I'm just doing it to get the stat boosts. I'm not doing it because I want to actually craft better stuff.
There you go. Take that! Easy does it?
Which sounds almost kind of wrong to be doing, but like whatevs, you know?
Take that! There you go. Nice.
No? Oh yeah, a lot of these are like lower level turnips, huh? I guess if I... Oh, if I... Yeah, I guess if I make them be level 4 turnips, then in the next batch I get, I'm bound to get to level 5 turnip to grow. Health 42. Flip. Flip.
There!
Flip.
There!
And blip. Where's my cooking table? Oh, it's up here, right. Yeah, and then I can just start doing, this.
Delicious!
Oh, right, that doesn't restore much runes. Yo, Martin, take some shirts. He's going to follow
Work hard, stay on guard.
Just let us ship them out. Not like I'll get much money for them, but whatever. At some point, it's not about the money, it's about having things.
Time to eat!
I should, I think, have enough runes to at least finish with this.
Yeah! Easy does it?
Also that I had
There we
exactly
go.
enough seeds for all this. Now I'm acknowledging I am planting level 3 seeds.
There we go. Hi-ya! Take that! I hope it comes out okay. I hope it comes out okay. I hope it comes out okay. Grow big and strong, okay? Yeah!
I like how this little watering can, like, got just to show an approximation for how much water you have left. Okay, right. What menu? Is the fire dragon doing alright? God, I've been doing so much OT band. Oh my gosh.
Yes! Yes!
I've been doing so much OOT bando lately that I just, it's like, oh, this is going slowly. I should pull down the space bar to speed things up. Oh no, growth speed is down because overall soil is bad. Level 1.5. So now the issue is that, yeah. We don't exactly have a lot of seeds left.
Take that! Hi-ya!
But now that we can start getting a lot of extra energy back, we should perhaps use this for something. Let's mix up some medicine. We can make some of this. Pick this up. Put it down right there. And what menu? Onto the fire dragon.
Nice! All right! There!
I mean, technically, maybe it'd be better to set everything up in the bedroom so we just warp back home instead of having everything be outside. Mayhaps that would be better. Look at us, we're getting our skill points up.
How you growing? How you growing? I hope it comes out okay. How are you growing?
Health is 60.
Nice. There we go. There we go.
Right.
I hope it comes out okay. I hope it comes out okay. There we go. There we go.
3.3, but no health. Okay.
How are you growing? There we go. How are you growing?
4.8, but again, no health. Any of that? No. Yeah, it was one idea. One 1.3. But nothing. And then we go here. Yeah, I should start moving the things into the bedroom. So I just warp right home. And now we're out of the materials. Yeah, cooking is good because different recipes can give us certain buffs and whatnot. And those are going to maintain usefulness. Smithing is good because then we can make new watering cans and other farm tools.
How are you growing?
1.8,
I hope it comes out okay.
2.3,
How are you growing?
2.8,
I hope
3.3,
it comes out okay.
4.3. Okay. So these should grow really, really fast. That's the idea, at least.
There!
Was it? Yeah.
There!
During the archipelago, some people decided to play two different scenes. So the overall idea is everyone plays a randomizer of the game, but they can be different games. For example, a lot of people did Paper Mario because this was the Paper Mario randomizer Discord server. And you can't find Paper Mario in the normal Archipelago. You have to do special things. I know Archipelago isn't pronounced like that, but I did it by accident once, and I started thinking, that's a weird way to say it. So I started pronouncing Archipelago like this. However, it's multi-mode, so your items are likely to be in someone else's world. So instead of, say, one game might have 400 different possible locations where items can be found, so instead of all 400 of your items being in those 400 different spots, some of your items might be in someone else's spots.
Nice.
So, like, say, my Koku sword could be in somebody else's game, and I wouldn't be able to use the Koku sword basically no matter what I do until they play their game and pick it up. And a lot of people took this as like, okay, well, we're also not necessarily all going to be playing, like, aggressively as soon as it begins. It's not any sort of a race, this is just a nice casual thing. We'll all be taking our time, some people might not start until hours later. It's going to take a few days. So it's like, well, okay then, if it's going to take some time, anyway. want to look up a new potion. So yeah, so some people decide to play 2 games. So once they've finished with everything that they are able to do in one game, they can jump to the other. I did not, because I was playing Ocarina of Time, and that has a lot of stuff you can do. Even with getting 0 of my own checks, I can still be doing stuff for a long, long time. Medical herb and medicaments. There's 1 red grass. Toad grass and yellow grass. Oh, we don't have yellow grass. Interesting. We also don't have white grass? Question mark? We do not, because that's a winter thing. We don't have extra withered grass. Right, anyway. Well, I mean, we sure tried, at the very least. Yeah, so I just ran the 1 game and played in giant chunks. So over the course of the last 2 days, I spent probably most of my waking hours just playing that. And I was doing, like, all of the checks that I could manage. So, of course, I had a speed up function set up. I got an N64 USB controller while I was with Azura. Yeah, last week. Wow, that was just last week. And so I had that plugged in and going along and playing Ocarina of Time with an, I'll say actual N64 controller. It's not a real one. It's a reproduction one made by a company other than Nintendo. I mean, just looking at it, you can tell, because it doesn't say Nintendo at the top where it's supposed to say Nintendo and has none of the other stuff that a real N64 controller would have. I had been under the impression that someone had, like, basically cut the cable and soldered on, like, a USB cable instead of the normal one, but no. It seems to have just all been, like, made like this from the onset. Which means, hey, pretty neat. And it works out, especially when I change the settings to have the dead zone be 0% instead of 10%. Oh, right, can't really upgrade stuff unless I just want to use, like, turnips.
Nice. Nice. Yes.
Ocarina of Time for practically the entire game works better if you have it run at double speed or faster. I should have had the speed up button just be a toggle.
Nice.
Speaking of toggle, while I was trying to record the archipelago, I figured at the very least have a nice episode for like the first like hour or a few hours, and just have that be like its own thing, kind of. But due to some weirdness with OBS being like the main window and whatnot, every time I hit the spacebar to speed up, it would like stop or start a new recording. So yeah, that didn't work out so well. So no recording of that, unfortunately, and also I realized that the last episode of Operation Tango has been uploaded twice. For some reason, I decided to put the last episode up to upload on a Friday instead of the normal, was it Tuesday or Wednesday spot that is going on? I think Wednesday, right? And I don't know why I did that, but because I did and I didn't check it, because it's like, oh yeah, no, episode 7's on a Wednesday, why would episode 8 then be on the Friday immediately after? So that video is actually up twice. Whoops. That was an accident.
Nice.
I should try to say something about, oh, blah blah blah, won't let it happen again, blah blah blah. I can't be certain that it won't happen again, you know?
Take that. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just doing more normal recordings again. Trying to get back into the swing of things. After being gone for 2 weeks, it's taking a while to get used to things. Like, being here, like, yeah, this is the place I live, it still doesn't quite feel like, no, this is where I live, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yes.
And stuff. There's still, like, a weird feeling of just visiting that I'm not sure if I'll ever really be able to shake. And I've been living here, like, 5 years. And yet, you know, spending a few days at Azura's felt more comfortable there than I maybe have ever have here. Which is probably not a great sign. Continue to expand my fridge.
Let's get to work.
Ooh. So that's 60 extra spots? Nice. Alright. We're whatever. I'm here. I have my chair. I have my cat. I have weird dreams. Like, there's a lot going on in that last dream. And it ended with me being given, like, a giant box as a gift. And, like, looking at, like, the branding on the side, it's like, what? This isn't, like, a company I'd ever be interested in receiving something from. It wasn't, like, you know, some like, bad company, whatever. It's just, like, what? I want car parts. That's not a thing that I would want. But no, it was a reused box, and looking inside, it had, like, a whole bunch of, like, old, like, video game accessories and whatever. Like, I saw a few N64 controllers. Probably, definitely influenced by me using an N64-like controller recently. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do a video on this. Yeah, let me drag this giant box into, like, my recording room. And I had, like, a whole separate room that... There were cables and stuff all... Like, the place was so messy with various cables. So when I was like, yeah, I should really organize... It wasn't just, like, normal cable mess and stuff. Like, I was walking around trying not to step on or trip over cables all throughout the room. It was a giant mess. I'm surprised I even had room for this giant box. So I'm like, okay. You know, try to start up the camera. Like, let's, you know, show off all the stuff that's in here. Because I want to do it on camera instead of just for the sake of doing it. For whatever reason. Even though the place is a mess, it shouldn't be on camera. Even though I shouldn't be on camera. Let's do it anyway.
All right. Nice. All right. Nice. Yes. All right. All right.
Okay. Alright, so I took out, like, the first box. It had some stuff in it, but it also had a bunch of, like, ratty old books, basically just as, you know, like, box filler.
Yes.
And I started thinking, like, wow, like, someone went through and wrote these. Like, it wasn't just individual books. It was, like, 7 books of a series. And these are pretty thick books, too. I think all 7 books, like, lined up side to side. It was about
Which
a
book?
foot.
Nice.
Oh, hello.
Hello. And again.
Yes.
I streamed the game to you, but Cinnamon is sitting on my hands. I'm talking about the dream I had last night, where, among other things, there's a box with a bunch of old ratty books in it. And the series of books was about a foot thick. For like 7 books. And so I tried to grab the first one to, like, check up on what it was about, but then I woke up. Apparently I wasn't... The processing power for my dream was enough that I could see the books and see that they were individually numbered, but my brain wasn't about to be all like, oh, here's the synopsis for 7 or 8 separate books of a series. You're not supposed to actually try to read the books, you're just supposed to be all like, oh, that's whatever, and toss them. Since when is someone actually going to try to read the books?
That's weird.
Nice.
And the thing is, I quite remember how the spines of the books looked. I don't even think, like, the name was on the spine.
Nice.
there was a bit of some pretty lines, and like the little number like in the middle.
Yes.
Because yeah, most books have the name on the spine, so when they're up on the shelf, you can see what the book is.
Nice. All right.
But yeah, whenever I'm dreaming, I'm usually pretty illiterate. It's really, really difficult to read in a dream.
Yes. Yes.
I've heard that.
Oh, you read it somewhere? In a dream, maybe?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I think I know what the problem is. When I'm asleep, I'm not wearing my glasses. Without my glasses, it's kind of hard to read things that are more than like a foot away from me. So I have to like scrunch up and really try hard to read stuff. That's what it is. Right, Cinnamon? You agree with me, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, my nose is
Huh.
itchy.
So I'd hopped into the AP hoping that, maybe I'd received some stuff. I don't think I've received a single genuinely useful thing for either of my games. It looks like I've gotten one key for a dungeon that technically I'm not supposed to have access to.
That's about right.
And... oh, okay, I see one thing I can do.
Yeah, that was like me playing Ocarina of Time. It's like, okay, 604 checks in this game. What can I do? What could I possibly do that could be at all useful here?
Yes, I think with what I have, this is one of those things where it's just like,
All right.
yeah, Archipelago, like multi-world, kind of messes up some of the logic with, like some of these, like, Zelda games in particular. Because,
All right.
well,
All right.
for the most part, from what I've seen in Link to the Past, generally speaking, the randomizer, unless you set it to like some really difficult logic, it will usually try to prevent you from like locking you out of like checks or anything like that, because like certain things will just be like guaranteed key to make sure that you always have the key to get through a particular spot dungeon, and that's like including like in like sanity logic, because a lot of these dungeons are not linear. You can do things in like different orders, but sorry, hang on a moment here. The issue is the with the multi-world, it like swaps around everything, and it's just like, oh man, there actually is like a right or wrong choice that you can make.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't really undo that.
Yeah, because at least if you're playing single player, you could just like, oh no, that's the wrong choice. I better reset.
I mean, technically I can do that. Technically not supposed to.
Yeah, and it's also like, well, like, I could. It's like, I'm supposed to wait for like such and such check from someone before I say, go into this area here. Or alternatively, I could try glitching my way in, go against logic, but then I get more checks for people.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it worth it to try to glitch my way through, knowing I'm not supposed to do this, but maybe it'll be more useful for someone down the road?
Like, the issue... And I guess that's the thing, because sometimes, like, a seed can be randomized to end up being fairly linear, and that can be the same in Archipelago as well. And the issue is, once someone starts going out of logic, people might start prioritizing the stuff that is technically out of the intended logical order.
Yeah, like you cheat in order to get a check, and it turns out to be like, oh hey, well now I can access this dungeon. But they're not supposed to access the dungeon because you're still waiting for like bombs or something that you're supposed to use. But since you don't have bombs, there's a lot more stuff you can't do because it's locked in their dungeon 1. But they've done dungeon like 2, 3, 4, 5 instead because they could.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's like, yeah, no, I'm still waiting. Where's my bombs? Yeah. I went through that entire thing. I didn't get bombs. I had bomb shoes. But people were constantly like, oh, hey, Claire, here's some bombs for you. I'm like, it's a blue ruby. And I feel like doing it again, instead of spending hints so much on, like, single progression stuff, basically just do all the checks that I can in one sitting. Which, again, likely over 100, and then just spend, like, all of my hints I have access to on either item that unlocks, like, 50 or so items, which there usually isn't a single item that does that, or just, hey, where's all my Triforce pieces? And just finds, like, yep, here's all of my Triforce pieces. If anyone wants to start going that way.
Yeah, I will say, that is kind of also something that it kind of can be more of an issue. Yeah, like when we're doing, like, sort of, the Star Hunt and Triforce Hunt, of the thing of, all the things I need could all potentially be in someone else's worlds.
Yeah. Also, it seems to be an issue if you have, like, a lot of the Triforce pieces, or, you know, the game-winning pieces. Because, if you try to go for a hint, it'll give you 1. So if you are trying to go for, like, 50 pieces, it's like, okay, here's 1 that you haven't found. Whereas if you're going for, like, 10...
I will say, it doesn't seem to consistently work like that. I've seen it... I have seen it kind of work differently than that sometimes, and I'm not sure what causes it to actually show more than just 1. But, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But, I mean, you're right, that is an option, you know, rather than, you know, having it be, okay, what do I need to actually, you know, make further progress? And that's... I don't know.
There we go. And if we do another one of these at some point, maybe I will just... Like, I want to see how this Sudoku works. If it's just like, oh, you signed up for Sudoku, okay, here's your 1 puzzle. If you complete it, you get 1 hint. Or if I could just keep doing Sudokus and keep getting hints. Also, is it random hints? Or do I just get to, like, choose a hint? Hey, I did a Sudoku. Where's my Water Temple boss key?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Okay, what it is, like, how Sudoku and, like, the other hint games work, like, they're not something, like, you add, like, at the start. They don't, like, take up a slot. Well, they don't create a slot. Basically, you just need to get, like, the hint game client. And basically, if you can't, like, if you're in BK mode, you then, load up the hint game client and, like, play your Sudoku or whatever, and that can give you, like, hints. The only thing that you need to do is just have the client already installed. So, I guess while you were BK, you could have done that. Could have gone and installed it. Because it doesn't need to be prepped ahead of time when it's rolled.
Yeah, just play one game, get into BK mode, and start grabbing hints to give to everyone else.
No, I don't think you can do that. Well, I mean, like, yeah, hints for your stuff, yes. But I don't know...
If the hint tells you where your items are, or if it tells you where things in your game are.
Well, no, it should be for stuff that's... actually, that's a good point. I actually don't know.
If it'd be all like, hey, horseback archery 2 gives this thing for, Azura. Or if it's like, Toad Town sharp item number 7 is your recovery heart. But, and like the Gossip Stones give a few hints, which is how I knew that Zelda throws a Megaton hammer. So it's like, oh my gosh. There are 2 specific area checks that are... Technically, there are 3 specific area checks that are annoying to do, because you have to beat dungeons. 1, if you beat the 3, if you get the 3 spiritual stones... Remember, the stones medallions are shuffled. So if you beat 3 specific dungeons, you get a song and 1 check. The song, by process of elimination, had to be Zelda's Lullaby. Because all of the other song locations... Because songs were shuffled into other song locations, and that was the only song location that didn't require Zelda's Lullaby. So I'd have to beat 3 dungeons to get Zelda's Lullaby and the Megaton Hammer. I had the Fire Temple boss key and Hover Boots, but I couldn't beat the Fire Temple boss because you need Megaton Hammer for that. Like, oh my gosh. And then there is Kakariko Burning song, which gives, a song, and some songs are very useful. Some songs are not as useful. Some, like, Sun Song, technically you can just hold the speed up button and wait, like, a minute, and then it'll change, or, leave the area, blah, 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 blah. Sun Song, I think, gives 1 specific check and speeds up a lot of other checks, and that's all it does. But other than that 1 check you get, you don't need it. It's just useful. But some songs are very important. Like Bolero of Fire gives... I don't know, what is it? Like 10 different checks or something? As it turns out. But anyway, that's the episode of this episode. That's the episode of this episode of Runes. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it for what it was worth. Kind of went on a little bit of a tangent there at the end. Did a bunch of farming stuff. Next episode, we're finally going to go to tomorrow and give everyone nice, tasty turnip